Hey there, friends. It's Annie Peguero, your passion finder and alignment coach over at anniepeguero.com. And today I've got a little special treat for you talking about crystals and how to buy crystals when you go into a shop. So before we get started, I just want to share with you that Unstuck closes today. This is my global community for military spouse entrepreneurs and creatives and all of those people who this message resonates with. So what if you're like, I'm not starting a business, but all of this does resonate with me. I also have an exciting new thing coming up that is going to make Unstuck a little bit more fit into people that do not have businesses. So if you do have a business, perfect spot for you. If you don't have a business and this resonates with you, also perfect spot for you. So if you go over to anniepeguero.com, the doors close in 20 minutes. So if this is something that you want to get in on, please do it now because we're closing the doors. I'm not sure when I'll open them back up, but it's a great place if this, everything that I'm teaching, everything that I've been talking about this week resonates with you. And you can just join month to month or 6 months, whatever fits in with your heart. If you have any questions, just drop them here in the comments or send me a message and we could chat about if it is going to be something that works for you. So let's get into it. I want to talk a little bit quickly because my family's at the beach. It's Saturday and I want to get down to the beach, but I feel like this is really valuable and it's come as a special request. So I got some messages saying, can you talk about crystals? Because people see that my crystal collection in my Instagram stories and I'm sharing about them all the time. So I just wanted to share with you about my crystals. Now, before I go into this, I do want to share with you, like, you don't need to be an expert. You don't need to go to your books and Google and all of that thing about rocks. You know, one thing that I definitely teach inside of Unstuck is all about following your heart and listening to your voice and going with what feels right for you instead of having to ask people all the time. Remember we talked the other day about indecisiveness and trusting your inner gut and trusting your thoughts and feelings and intuition instead of always looking outside of yourself to get answers, right? Remember we talked about that? So the same exact thing, I'm just looking down at my rocks, the same exact thing goes for when you want to purchase some crystals to help intensify the things that you've already got going on or also help to break away some blocks that you might have. So what I like to recommend, or what I do for myself, this is what I do for myself. I do have a rock book called the Big Book of Rocks or something like that, and I can't even find it. I don't even know where it is. Maybe my girls took it, maybe I left it somewhere, maybe I let somebody borrow it, I don't know. But I was thinking that I would reference that book this morning in my video here with you, and I also did a video in the Moon Magic group, but I can't even find it. I don't even know where the book is, and that is fine. That was how it was supposed to be. I was supposed to just speak from my heart and not reference a book at all, because that's what I'm recommending that you guys do. So when I go into a shop, I usually take a deep breath in my car and just kind of set my intention for going into the shop. What am I looking for? What am I trying to increase inside of me, or what am I trying to let fall away? So if you know that you have had a lot of fear and worry and anxiety, you could say to yourself, okay, I'm going into the shop with an intention to come out with a crystal that speaks to me about letting go of worry, that speaks to me about letting go of fear, that speaks to me about letting go of stress. And then after, and only after you do that, then you can hop on to Google, right? And type in stones for releasing fear or stones for releasing worry or anxiety, and then looking down at the list and having an open mind when you go into the shop. I really prefer, that's what I do. I like doing it that way, and that's why I'm sharing it with you. Listen, I'm just sharing what I do, right? sharing it like that instead of like going into a place and saying, I'm looking for a rock for clarity. You know, then they're going to come at you with like all of these different things. They're going to probably get like their most expensive thing. Maybe they'll bring like over a giant geode with like hats all cut off and it's like $1 zillion. Instead of leaving yourself open for that, just going in there with an intention, with some possibilities, and then going in with an open mind. And then going in and picking up some different stones. Like before you even, maybe even before you've Googled it and looked at the list of the stones you're looking for, just going in there and picking up some different ones and feeling it. And before you even know, oh, this is for like whatever it's for, just holding it in your hand and picking it up and seeing if it resonates with you. So as I'm talking here, I would love to hear your feedback, your thoughts, everything. Like if you have any crystals or rocks, or just put it right down here so we can have a chat about it. Just tell me right down here. Also, I always love hearing where you're from. Like as you're joining and watching on the replay or live, just telling me where in the world you're watching from, and if you have any rocks of your own. I'd love to hear about them or even see pictures of them down here right down below. So tell me. All right, here we go. More crystal talk. So that's what I do, and that's what I recommend you do. Going in with an intention, setting an intention for what you want to happen inside of the shop. And then go in and feel around. Feel what speaks to you. Then, hi Jenna! Oh, good to see you. Good to see you here. Let's see, what is a favorite crystal that you have? Jenna is in Montana. I think that I bought some really cool rocks the last time I was in Montana. I'm not sure which one though. I always like to buy a crystal or some type of rock with energy when we're on a trip. So when we were in Italy, I bought these amethysts. I love amethyst. Amethyst is a stone for spiritual protection. I have my notes over here because I don't have all this memorized. I don't. So for spiritual protection, and excuse me, purification, spiritual protection and purification. So usually if I buy amethyst, I'm like, I set an intention to go buy amethyst. Jenna says, I don't have any crystals. We have quartz in our backyard. I need to get more crystals. Quartz is a very, very powerful one. I'm going to talk about that in just a second. Yeah, I mean, I feel like there's a shop in Bozeman. Where do you live? There's a shop in Bozeman, at least there used to be in 2005. I don't know if it's still there, but when I lived in Bozeman back in like 2005, I remember I would always go into this one shop. So amethyst is like, the kids love amethyst because it's pretty and purple and sparkly. My girls love it. And this amethyst right here that I bought, I think in Italy. Now this is from like cut from a giant like piece of natural amethyst, and this is tumbled, like machine tumbled and polished. So see the difference. Like I used to think, oh, I only want the rock in like its natural form, but these are just as neat. Like I really love like holding this in my hand and holding on to it like while I do a video, or if I like go somewhere, I like to carry this one like in my purse or in my wallet or something. I wouldn't really carry this around with me because it can chip and it's delicate, and this one is tired. It needs to rest. So I put this on my quartz. So let me bring my quartz in. So the quartz, thank you, Jenna. When you do get some and go into a shop, let me know what you come up with. I would love to hear about it. So the quartz. This is a pointed quartz. So if you have quartz in your backyard, like it's probably not pointed, like it's probably just like the rock of quartz, and that's awesome. Like they are very, very magical and powerful, like the master healer stones. Like that's what this quartz is all about, especially this pointed quartz. So these points right here are points that are found in nature. Like this is not man-made, and it's said to be the only crystal that can hold an intention. So like when you're meditating, when you're in your quiet place, when you're wherever, like this sits on our kitchen table. I put it on our kitchen table and I have it on this. So this is a piece of like old pottery that I found down at the beach, and then I painted a sun and like a little beach scene on my birthday a couple of years ago. And I just put all of our rocks right on this, and it sits on our kitchen table, like where we gather all the time in our home. So like the energy is like super abundant here in our house. So I put this right here, and my girls like always, it's almost like they're leaving like these offerings, like, and then they'll stack up. Like when I picked this up earlier today, like this was stacked on top of this, and like the rose quartz was stacked on top of that. So I love it when they are like manipulate. It looks like they left like 100 yen as like an offering or something. So, and then we put their sea glass on there. So it's just like teaching my girls about crystals and energy and inner healing and things like that, which I totally enjoy so much. So just if you are new to buying crystals, I recommend getting yourself some quartz, and specifically this pointed quartz, because it does hold an intention and also intensifies the healing properties of the other rocks. So if I have 3 different ones that I want to show you, like this is my biggest one. Like I have like dreams of having giant pieces someday, right? But right now I'm totally fine and content with having this beautiful one right here. So I have another one. This one I carry around. And if you're here in Okinawa, if you're watching and you're here in Okinawa, the guy over here in Yomitan at his shop in Yomitan has quartz like this, and a nice collection of rocks that you can purchase from him. You just have to ask, like, can I see your larger pieces of rocks? It's a shop in Yomitan. So this is another pointed quartz, and I carry this one around. Sometimes I'll put it in my pillowcase when I sleep. It's just an easier one to hold on to than like this big one right here. So carrying this around is cool. Also this one, another pointed quartz. So just different sizes, all pointed quartz, all different numbers of points. And the numbers of points like actually mean something too. I don't know what they mean. I don't know what they mean, but it means something. We can Google that. Or look in my rock book if I had it. I don't know where it is. If you have my rock book, let me know. So I've got 3 different pointed quartzes all right here, so you can see the difference. Another pointed quartz, there's 2 more quartz that I want to show you before we go today. This one is a smoky quartz. This one is a piece of jewelry. So before I bought this piece of jewelry, I was like, I had like all of the rocks in front of me, and I was just picking them up, touching them, feeling them, and I knew that I wanted to buy a piece of jewelry. So I just put it on, and it just felt like how it felt on my neck. It feels heavy. It feels protecting. It feels like protective. That's what this one feels like for me. And then I found out that this was all about protection. This one is all about protecting your energy, protecting your high vibes, not allowing circumstances and other people's energy to come at ya, which, yeah, give me all of this, right? Like, I get it. Like, I get your negative energy, but I don't want it in my house. So I keep this right on our kitchen table. Right on our kitchen table next to this one, so it supercharges it up. Yeah, and I'll wear this like if I'm going to meet new people, or if I'm feeling low, or if I'm going somewhere where I know the energy might be a little bit heavy, I'll wear this, or an amethyst, or I'll just carry it in my pocket. You know, like if I don't want a lot of attention to it, like this brings up a lot of attention. This one definitely does. Like if I wear it right here, hi, I'm coming at you with my smoky quartz. Like a lot of people want to touch it. They want to ask questions about it. And if I don't want to talk about it, I'll just keep it in my pocket or keep it in my purse. I'll wrap it up. I've carried them in socks. Like put them in a sock and put them in my purse, whatever. So, okay. There's those. And then one more quartz that I want to share with you is this rose quartz. Look at how pretty this is. It's a polished and tumbled pink rose quartz. And this rose quartz is all about lowering stress and tension in your heart. awesome, right? And what I do, working with women, coaching women, helping women reframe their thoughts and ideas and stress levels and fear. That's what I do inside of Unstuck. This is a great one to have at all times, right? Like, because I want to be able to lead with my heart center, helping to have you reframe and coaching you from a place of my highest self. So yeah, like this has been a really great one to have. And so if you're new to this and you just want to start a collection, I recommend Quartz, something for clarity and inner peace and leading with your heart. I feel like there was one more thing that I wanted to share with you. Oh, this one. Yes, this one. This selenite. Before I bought this selenite, I went into the shop wanting to get something for mental clarity for a family member. And I remember picking up this selenite and just feeling like amazing energy with it. Like, wow, like what is this? Like I didn't even know what it was. I just knew I wanted something for mental clarity and peace. And the shop owner, after I asked, she was lovely. She's like, just let me look and browse and like pick up whatever I wanted. I asked, I'm like, what is this? And she's like, oh, that's selenite. It's said to come directly from heaven. I'm like, oh, like tears, like that is beautiful. Like this is exactly what I'm looking for. And I found it, or it found me. I didn't go in there saying, I want something for mental clarity, and then get presented with all these things. I just, picked up the stones and let the energy speak to me and speak to my heart, which was really cool. So this super powerful, all about clarity, all about mental clarity, and I love pairing it, next to the rose quartz, which is all about leading with your heart, leading with love, nourishing and heart guidance and heart centeredness. And then again, next to this quartz, the pointed clear quartz, which is all about holding intention, and like the master healer stone. So just meditating with these rocks near you, or just picking them up like throughout your day. If you've got them like on your kitchen table or somewhere close by like I do, it's just easy to pick them up and to feel the energy, or to have your kids when they're feeling a little bit crazy. I'll say to my oldest, go get the rose quartz and just go hold it in your hand and just go sit down and read a book. And she does, because it's just part of our life. It's just part of what we do. And it's so cool to see, like, my oldest daughter has like a collection, and like she has a piece of amethyst, she has a rose quartz, and she puts it. Oh, good morning, Yumi. Hi, friend. It's so good to see you. We're going to do a full moon thing coming up, so I hope that you can join us then. I'm going to be out with all of my rocks, washing them in the ocean. So did I talk about that? Did I talk about recharging? So if you have any crystals, you have any healing stones, during the full moon, put them outside and they will charge with the full moon's energy. If you really need a good clearing for them, take them down to the ocean and just give them a little bit of a bath, and then rinse them off with fresh water for sure, so that salt water isn't damaging to them. And then set them out in the sun and recharge them up under the full moon after you wash them. That is just such a really great way to bring that cleansing energy into your home. Okay, I think that's it. If you have any thoughts, questions, anything about rocks, crystals, anything like that, I'm not an expert, but I'm a person that buys rocks and that has rocks in our home. And if I don't know the answer, I'll seek it out for you and reach out to the really great network of people that I have that are experts in rocks, and like have these amazing collections. But again, you don't need a giant amazing collection. Just a few if they speak to you. Yeah. So I know that this was helpful. I trust that you gained some value from it, because it's one thing that people are always asking me in my Instagram stories and things like that. Like, show me your crystals, tell me about the rocks that you have. And it's just been a lot of fun collecting them. And then one final thing, like whenever we go on a trip, I always like to visit the rock shop or the metaphysical store. If I can find one, I always go on Google and look for one, and get something from a trip to add to our collection, because I feel like it really holds the energy of our time together as a family, and I like to bring it home and have it like on display, like in our kitchen, on our kitchen table, and just somewhere accessible, somewhere where my girls can touch it and remember, and they can say, oh yeah, I remember when we bought that amethyst in Italy. I remember that day, and then we had gelato and it was beautiful and it was sunny and we were sitting outside. And I'm like, oh yeah, like we can also almost like pick up that stone and take us back to that time as a family. So just something fun that we do that I thought that you might like. Thank you guys so much for spending part of your day here with me. I enjoy it so much. I enjoy chatting with you and hearing just about your journey and how I can help you on your journey in any way. If you pop on over to anniepeguero.com, you can see the different ways to work with me in groups or in my mastermind. If that resonates with you, I definitely welcome you to check that out. You can also go over to my podcast on Apple Podcasts and Stitcher. It's called the Unstuck Podcast. The photo is, you'll see me in a red dress at the seawall. You're welcome, Jenna. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here. Yeah, you're totally welcome. This is fun. I really enjoy sharing about this. So to get more of this, like over at my podcast at the Unstuck Podcast, that's where I'll be sharing a lot more about this. Thank you guys so very much, and I'd love to see your thoughts and ideas right down here. Get into my direct messages. We can have a chat about crystals. I could like talk about this all day, but I'm gonna go to the beach and enjoy. It's gonna be high tide here in about an hour and a half. Thank you guys so much, and have a really great weekend. Again, if you want to get into Unstuck, the doors are closing actually in the next couple of minutes, and we'll open them up in a few months. But if this resonates with you, if the things that I've been talking about all week, you're like, yeah, I'm totally into this, I want to know more about this, go on over to anniepeguero.com, and I'm excited to work with you and help you really bring your inner light to the surface. Talk with you guys later.